So, guys, we are now here, and it is now I'm charging my phone. It is the 29th of January. So, first of all, I want to massively congratulate Luke and Gordon on their 2023 Client of the Year awards, and also Jan Hooch Turner on becoming the first ever Unbreakable Warrior. Also, to everyone who attended on Saturday, like the messages that I've had from you guys of how impactful and inspired you felt afterwards is incredible. And I truly, truly appreciate each and every one of you. Those of you who didn't make it, the speeches were all recorded, and I will be releasing them for you guys to watch back, as well as sharing the slides, so you can kind of have the slides with the replays of the day, because these days are quite intense, aren't they? Who's got their mic on? Stephen Brooks. These days are quite intense. So you come away from these mastermind days, and there's that much information, there's that much inspiration, and that much knowledge to take on board, that I remember when I used to attend a lot of Paul's ones. I used to remember the one when there was at Goodison Park, the Everton football ground, and I had to drive back, and it was took about 3 hours, and I was that mentally exhausted because there'd been that much information. And I remember leaving and thinking, oh God, I'm so fired up, I'm so inspired, but I'm also absolutely exhausted at the same time. So that was why I wanted to do it that way. So you guys have got it to look back on, and you've got the notepads, you've got the booklets, and you'll have the slides, so you can kind of all take it in and relive the main points. You should have your gratitude lists. You should have your hot pen technique goal lists. So, after Saturday, we should now be clear on exactly how we want 2024 to look, what it is we want to achieve, the reasons why we want to achieve it, what we need to do in order to do that, the people that we need to spend more time with, people we need to spend less time with, the person that we need to become in order to smash those goals, and also the reasoning why we are moving towards those goals. So you should have a wealth of information now ready to prepare, which brings me nicely on to today's training. So whether you've been here, I think Lee Newell is the longest existing guy who's been here nearly 7 years. You're someone who's joined in the last 1 or 2 years, or you are on the latest 12-week challenge. So when we look at this year, essentially for me in my own life and in your lives, what really happened before the 1st of January doesn't matter. And so many of you are absolutely smashing it. And I'm so proud of you for that. But there's always a but, isn't there? The big thing here, what we need to become mindful of is, and again, this is another lesson I had from my granddad. I'm finding I'm talking about him more and more at the moment, but whenever I was playing rugby and I was starting to move up through the ranks and I was doing really well, he always only reminded me of one thing, and that was, you're only as good as your last game, boy. Right? It doesn't matter that it doesn't matter that you scored 3 tries last week against St Albans. What matters is this week's game against Berkhamsted. So don't wallow in the glory of what you did last week, because that's gone. And this is so true in life. So the 2 things that I want to base this training on today, I want all of you to strategically review January. And this isn't about beating yourself up. This isn't about calling yourself up. I'm going to put some polls in both the WhatsApp groups and the Facebook group, the one for the high-level unbreakable clients, the 90-day group, and also the Facebook group, because we need to honestly review January. And if you're smashing it, great, amazing. But we're going to look at, have we done 31 minutes cardio per day? And if not, why didn't we do it? Did we do between 25 and 30 days? Did we do between 0 and 10? Did we do between 10 and 25? And it wasn't necessarily for me about making sure that we did all 31 days. And if we didn't, we're not good enough. Because ultimately, even stretching and aiming for that goal, let's say you only managed 20 days when you did 31 minutes cardio. Well, that was probably 20 more days than you did in December. So that's a massive win. So don't sometimes aim for a goal and then be disappointed if you don't do it. Like, this is where what I'm going to talk about now is the art of stretching. So very often I'll aim so far past a goal that I hit the actual goal by default. And the art of stretching is something so important because there's so many of you that have, you've already dropped a load of weight, your mindset's on fire, you're starting to build some muscle, you're starting to get some clarity and some focus around your goals and everything in life. You're feeling happier, you're feeling more motivated. But again, you're still only as good as your last day. Yes, Jane, swimming is 100%. Cardio is any form of movement, walking, jogging, running, mountain biking, training in the gym, anything where we're elevating the heart rate to, let's say, 120 BPM or more. And swimming absolutely categorically does that. It's one of the most, what's the word I'm looking for? I hate it when my mind does this. It's one of the most something forms of exercise for burning calories. Someone let me know what the word I'm looking for is. I think I better get fired into this coffee. Effective. One of the most effective forms of exercise for burning calories because you're using your whole body, your arms, your legs, your glutes, your core, everything. And also that fact that you kind of a little of adrenaline in there because we're trying to stay alive, aren't we? Because if we don't, we're going to sink and drown. So it's a great form of exercise. So any form of cardio counts. Now, the art of stretching is nothing to do with mobility. It's nothing to do with loosening off the hamstrings. It's about stretching yourself. So the new goal for February is going to be 45 minutes of cardio every day. 45 minutes of training in the gym, swimming, running, biking, hiking, walking, stepping on the step at home workouts, skipping, anything at all, essentially moving your body at an elevated heart rate for 45 minutes or more, because 31 minutes is not going to cut it anymore because adaptation occurs. So the art of stretching is constantly doing more, because this is where so many people fall foul. Like, you may have done great in January, and great, amazing, awesome, I'm proud of you. But it's not just about being able to nail it for 1 month. It's about now being able to make February better than January, March better than February, April better than March, and so on and so on and so on. And this is why I've scheduled the event. We've got the 3 peaks will take us 8 to 12 hours. And as I've said, nobody needs to worry about it. I will always be the back man bringing up the rear, and I will make sure everybody gets down off of those 3 mountains and is safe to make sure you complete it. So please don't worry about your ability, but worry about, well, how many hikes can I get in before the 24th of January? So I'm in the best possible position to do it. Now, we then move on to a tougher challenge, which is the ultra marathon. And maybe now the scheduling of this will start to make sense. Now, don't think about the ultra marathon as, oh my God, I've never run a marathon. Oh my God, I've never run an ultra, because we have 8 hours to complete it, maybe 9, dependent on daylight and how flexible the Rother Valley staff are with opening the gates. What I'm actually going to recommend for this one is that we take drinks down and everyone parks at the golf club so that we don't have to be out by a certain time. But, I will be setting around about a daylight time cap for this. So it'll be around about 8 to 9 hours. But again, think about that. So if you're aiming to do an ultra, which is 30 miles or more, in 8 to 9 hours, you can essentially just about fast walk that. You could probably run 6 or 7 miles and fast walk the rest. So again, we have 2 months until that date. Everyone can do it. Stop talking yourself out of it with this bullshit story about how you're not fit enough and you haven't run a marathon before and you haven't even done a half. That doesn't matter. Okay? That doesn't matter. Yes, Tara will be making homemade granola bars with the kids when everyone finishes the 3 peaks. I'll be finishing the granola bars before anyone's nearly finished the 3 peaks, I reckon. Just get another one of them, Tara. But everything's up for that, and the kit list and everything. So everybody can do both of these events, every single one of you. And if you're not, it just builds into what I finished my speech with on Saturday. The only thing standing between you and everything that you want is the bullshit excuse about why you keep telling yourself it's different for you, about why you keep slipping into this I can't instead of this I can mentality. Remember, I can't change, I can't control, I can't challenge is the mindset of a weak, disempowered person who will fall into learned hopelessness and play the victim. When we start to say, I can, I will, and even I'm just going to do my best, you will start to assume the role of the strong, empowered warrior. So this art of stretching comes into the theory that there is no standing still in life, guys. Even if you've done everything that you needed to do in order to get to the end of January and be in the place you wanted to be, well, you need to do more in February, because otherwise you're going to go backwards. So many people are searching for this place of maintenance. I'm going to do this, and when I've done this, I'll get there. Some of you may already be in a mindset that you think you're going to smash the 90-day challenge, which 75% of you already are. But then we need to be thinking, well, what happens past the 90-day challenge? How do I keep stepping up? How do I keep testing myself? How do I keep dealing with adaptation? Because if you get to the 90 days, you've smashed it and you've lost 3 stone. Some people have lost 2 stone already. You still need to keep doing what you're doing and more in order to keep moving forward. Because if you stop doing what you're doing, you're going to go backwards. If you try and get there and just stay there, you'll go backwards because time moves forwards. And eventually, if you just keep doing what you're doing in order to get there, you'll plateau because adaptation occurs within the body and the mind. So we need to keep testing it to get stronger and fitter and longer. So start to think now, how can I test myself more? And this will start with doing a strategic review of January. It's not about calling anyone out. It's about being honest about the facts. How many days did I complete my planner? How many days did I journal in the morning? How many days did I complete my strategic wins at the end of the day for my strategic confidence? How many days did I do 31 minutes of cardio? How many days did I stretch? How many days did I send a gratitude message? How many days did I get up and get clear on what's today's most important task? What's today's next 3 most important tasks? How many hours mindset did I do? And again, if you're a person who's virtually done sweet FA, good. Well done. Why am I saying well done? Because at least you've had the balls to strategically analyze that. Now you know where the gaps are. And then we can always ask ourselves this one question, and I'll write this down for any area of life, because you know I'm massive on always talking about gifts and lessons. Knowing what you know now, what can you do differently in February? What can you do to step up? What can you do to take control? Where are the gaps? Maybe you're nailing the training, but you're still stressy and reactive because you're not doing the mindset work. Maybe your mindset's on fire and your training's on fire, but you're still chaotic and all over the shop because you're not planning your day. So it's kind of creating stress. But go back and list, how many training sessions did you do? How many hours training did you do in January? How many hours mindset? How many hours journaling? How many gratitude messages? I said all of these things, and get clear on, okay, this is the work that I did, and this is the outcome that I got. Because it will always be a direct reflection. Hard work will never lie to you. You will always get paid based on the work that you put in. And it's not different for you. We are all as one. So start to now plan February. When am I training? How many walks can I go on so I'm prepared for the 3 peaks? And once we've reviewed the month, get clear on where the gaps are, what needs to happen in order for us to move forward, because we have to be constantly doing more. If you want more, be more. If you want more, do more. We have to keep stretching, because it's the same in fat loss. Like, if you're a person who, and this is why I'm now setting the target of 45 minutes for February, so I've just said, don't overcomplicate it. It can be a run, a walk, a jog, a swim, mountain bike, home workouts, skipping, step ups, training in a gym, anything you want. But, if we're aiming for, this is the theory, right? Let's say I said, I want you to do 21 days in February. So you aim for 21 days and you probably start off and you're like, right, I'll do 2 and then I'll miss 1, I'll do 2. Oh, and then this happened and then I didn't end up going that week and now I'm struggling and now I feel like I'm not good enough because I'm so far behind. Well, if we aim for 31 or 28, because it's less days, isn't it? If we aim for 28 days and then by default we end up hitting 23 because we missed 5, well, that's a great result. But if you aim for 21 and you miss 5, then you're only going to hit 14, 15, 16. I did listen in maths, I promise. So aim past the moon, past the goal, past the what you currently think is your upper limit, and you'll probably hit it by default. Now, where this also builds into fat loss, and as I said, why I've created the 45 minutes, not the 31 minutes, is because, again, your body will have adapted. The body is very, very, very good at becoming better at using calories. It's very, very good at becoming more efficient. It's built that way. So what it took you to burn 500 calories on the 1st of January, you're going to have to do more to burn those calories on the 1st of February. Why? Because you're lighter, you're fitter, you're stronger, you're mentally better. So we have to keep, this is, nothing grows without being tested, right? You're not going to go into the gym and do the same chest routine with the same weights and the same rest and the same tempo and the same sets and the same reps every week and carry on growing. You have to do more. This is how the body goes. When the body is continuously placed under a further stress, that's how it grows. That's how it develops. And again, it's the same with the mind. Like, I'm not going to grow my business doing what I've always done. It's grown to where it can get to at that stage. I have to do more. I have to find better ways to generate leads. I have to build a team. I have to do things that are making me feel really uncomfortable, things that I don't understand, things that are testing me, because that is where the growth is. So if you're experiencing discomfort, great, you're going to grow. Stress, anxiety, worry, as I said, I used to avoid these emotions, but now I'm like, why are you stressed? Why are you anxious? Why are you overwhelmed? Well, one, it could be because I'm not planning, but I know that not to be true. So it's because I'm doing things that are testing me. I'm stepping way out of my comfort zone and doing new things, because new things lead to new habits, lead to new results, lead to new outcomes, lead to new experiences. The same things will lead to the same outcomes, the same results, and the same experiences. So again, be drilling deep down on that today. Where can I improve? How can I do more? Where can I be better? Where are the gaps? Where am I letting myself down? Where am I not doing what I said I would? Where am I not committing fully? Have I slipped back into, wasting 2 hours on Netflix before bed and going to bed late and then complaining that I'm tired in the morning? Have I slipped back into getting straight out of bed, checking Instagram, jumping in the shower, getting dressed and going straight to work? Have I slipped into not doing the training sessions when it's cold, not doing the training sessions when I'm tired? Because you have to think, and this is such a big one for me, like, because it's new to you, so many people at the moment will be like, oh my God, January was tough, but I smashed it and I'm proud and I'm doing great and I'm moving forward. But you have to be mindful. It's only 29 days of work. That's it. And you probably, if you knew, you might have done 6 or 12 months of doing absolutely sweet FA before January. So again, if you're feeling a little bit despondent, like you've not really moved forward at the rate that you believe you should have done versus the work in January, well, again, sometimes think, well, actually, what did I do for the 30 days before January? Well, the answer might be I got pissed 3 or 4 times a week. I didn't track my food. I didn't train at all. I ate crap every day because, let's face it, some people were at rock bottom on the 1st of January. So the first 29 days work may only really have paid back what you overspent in December. So again, don't be despondent if that's happened. But now it's about that upwards, there it is, that upwards trajectory has to keep going, because there is no standing still. There is no maintenance. And I've said this story before, haven't I? You know, you can't just get abs and keep abs. You have to keep doing what you did to get the abs, to keep the abs, and sometimes more. This is why, look at my own journey. I can't just aim for another 100 miles because I already know how to do that. It's not going to inspire me. It's not going to test me. It would still be a great achievement, but it's not going to take me past the point of where I'm already at. So there has to be new. And again, this is a great phrase that I've heard. It's not a great phrase. It's a phrase that I've heard a lot of people say that I don't like, and I think it's great. Lee, I just want to get back to where I was. I just need to get back to what I was doing. I just need to get back to my best. No, that's boring. Back is boring. Think of the word backwards. I want to go backwards to where I was. Well, if where you was worked, then you wouldn't be here. It didn't work. You need new, you need fresh, you need exciting. And that's what we need to set. How do I set a bigger bar, a bigger target, more runs, more sessions, more effort? Better at tracking my food, better at journaling, better at planning, bigger goals, exciting goals that make me want to dive out of bed and run towards them, that are that inspiring that I'm not even thinking about drinking or partying or eating shit because I'm too busy on my mission. I said that on Saturday, didn't I? One of the biggest problems with mental health is boredom. No purpose, no mission, no goals. You're not struggling mentally, you're just focused on your feelings because you're not focused on what you're moving towards. And it was bizarre because I didn't know again on Saturday until someone said, Lee, what app is it that you use when you post about how many days you've not drunk alcohol for? And I was like, oh, I am sober. And I went onto the app. 500 days on Saturday at the Mindset event. And I just think that's one of those crazy things when like the universe just aligned. I was like, oh, wow, that's like 500 days today. But I hadn't even thought about it. I think the last time I checked it, it was on like 437 or something. It's in one of the folders on my phone now. I don't even think about it because I'm too busy on what I'm trying to achieve. And again, alcohol would just slow me down. So that's my assessment. Like, what happens every time I drink? Well, I'll probably lose 3 or 4 days of my life, and then I'm miserable for a week, and then it takes me a while to get my mojo back and get on track, and I don't sleep, and I'm angry, and I'm tired, and I'm reactive, and I slip back into the old habits of blaming and complaining and justifying and feeling sorry for myself and thinking it's different for me, when actually none of those things are true. My energy's just fucked because I got pissed. And then I ate shit. And then I started moaning because it's easier to moan than just go, hey, up, do you know what? That was your fault. How are you going to handle it and move forward? But, you know, the point of this is like, I don't want to go backwards. I don't want to go slow. Yes, I want to move forward sustainably at a pace that I can maintain, but I'm not interested on being where I've already been. This is the art of stretching. Because back is boring, new's exciting. But we get drawn into thinking, I just need to get back to where I was. No, you need to go past that, because if where you was worked, you wouldn't be here now. Guys, have you got any questions for me today? Anybody in the house? Danielle walks. Danielle, that's great that it says walks, not walker. in view of walking for the 3 Peaks and training for it. Danielle's Zoom name is Danielle Walks. Pippa, Smithy, Sarah, Tom, Donna, Stephen, Hudson, Jessica, Amanda. Hey guys, Amanda Miles is flying in from Spain to do the 3 Peaks for you guys. That's commitment. That is serious effort. And she's also bringing her son with her. Example, not a warning. Absolutely love it. Guys, there's no questions. I love you all. Let's, Michael, pop that on the Training Peaks post if you haven't already. I've done about 10 out of about 17. I've got the rest to do today. So they will be done. Don't panic. Everyone's Training Peaks will be done, ready to start. Forgot what I was saying now. No one's got any questions. To get clear today, don't just plan February, also review January. Remember that theory as well. What, why, lesson, apply. What happened? Why did it happen? What was the lessons? And how am I going to apply that moving forward? Yes, of course, Pippa, it can be any form of cardio. Literally just simplify it. Like it could be like a home workout, like I did in COVID. 45 minutes of skipping, press ups, squats, lunges, crunches. It could be a 45-minute bike ride. You could go into the gym and do 15 minutes on the cross trainer, 15 minutes on the treadmill, 15 minutes on the Stairmaster. You could do 20 minutes weights. You could do 45 minutes cardio. One thing I will say, guys, as well, though, I'll finish on this actually, before I finish. If you have limited time to train, and if you are at a fitness level where you can do cardio and you can run, and you want to drop body fat, the optimal way to drop body fat is cardio at as intense level as you can maintain within the time you've had. Like I said last week, didn't I, about, I don't really like calling other people out, but it kind of frustrated me and upset me. So I wonder if she's just fucking lazy, or I wonder if she's just misguided. Because I said about the lady who was on the treadmill, and I saw her stat, like, you know, when you like looking in people's trolleys at the supermarket to see what food they've got and judging what they've bought. I do that on treadmills. I'm like, oh, what's he done? How fast she gone? Anyway, so she got to the end of, you know, this girl had made the effort to drive to the gym at 6 a.m. She'd got there, she'd got on the treadmill, and she'd walked that, and she wasn't like massively overweight, but she also wasn't in great shape, kind of like in the middle, probably carrying 2 to 3 stone of body fat she needed to lose. Could easily have run. And she'd done 3 kilometers. She'd walked that slow, scrolling Instagram, that she'd done 3 kilometers on a treadmill in 60 minutes. Perfect face, not red, not sweating, nothing at all. And the same thing will happen. Like, is she just lazy and she doesn't want to get sweaty and she likes her makeup how it is and she goes to the gym to that? I don't know, maybe. Is she just doesn't like the feeling of getting sweaty, getting a heart rate up or anything? Or is she just misguided that she thinks that is eventually going to work? Because I would doubt that she did more than 150 calories in that total hour on top. And again, I see the same with some people, probably because they think it's easier. I'm the worst people watcher in the gym, because if I'm on the cross trainer or the treadmill upstairs, I'll look down and I'll see what people are doing. And again, you know, I'll see people come in and they're there when I arrive and they're there when I leave. And the lack of intensity that they're working at is crazy. I'll go on the shoulders and I'll do 12. Probably could have done 64 at that weight, but I'll do 3 sets of 12 and then move around. I'll see what's available over there. Oh, yeah, I'll do them leg presses and I'll do 3 sets. Like, you're wasting your time. If you've not got much time, you need to get your heart rate up. You need to get sweaty. You need to get out of breath. Jane, maybe the gym is an escape from something at home. Maybe, yeah, but great. But you're still there. So put the effort in and get something out of it. Or, you know, my theory would be, like, go for a walk. If that's all, you save the gym membership, save the car, save the travel time either side. Get smart with what you're doing. But, you know, people are in a gym because they want results, that they want to lose body fat. So we have to think, what's the most optimal way of doing it? And it's not going to happen walking at a snail's pace on a treadmill. It's not going to happen working your way around every machine in the gym in an hour, and again, never raising your heart rate probably above 100 BPM, never getting even close to overloading the muscle. You know, we have to work as hard as we can for as long as we can if we get results. And the reality is, I know that she will be exactly where she is now at the end of this month and the next month and whatever. So, you know, if it is just a mental health thing, then great. But I very much doubt that's just the reason why she's there. And if it's a mental health thing, you shouldn't be scrolling on Instagram, because that's, you know, literally going and scrolling for an hour. I can't think of much worse for your head. So think about, where can I do more? Where can I work? I only have 45 minutes to train. Am I doing everything I can in that 45 minutes to push myself? Or am I just going through the motions at 50% or less, hoping that by just showing up, I'll get a result? Because you won't. We need to work. You're there anyway. You've made the effort to do the session. At least get what you need out of it and give every session and every minute that you've got to train 110%. Because Michael's right. How do you think you will feel? The endorphins, the dopamine. I went to the gym and I fucking nailed that 45 minutes on the treadmill. I'm sweaty, my heart rate's up, I'm going to drop loads of body fat. I can go and enjoy some food, guilt-free. I tested myself. I beat last week's PB and I feel amazing. That's what, you know, that's why I fell out of love with weights at a point, because I want that dopamine hit. I want to get sweaty. I want my heart rate to get up. I want to get out of breath. I want to feel like I've had a workout, right? Exactly what Michael said. I feel so much better after a training session. Like, but how are you going to feel? Are you really going to feel loads better walking for 45 minutes and scrolling for Instagram? You're probably not, because you're probably going to get triggered by some things on social media. And then what's going to happen is eventually you'll get pissed off. Oh, you know, this is the mindset people fall into. Well, I went to the gym 20 times in January. Yeah, but you probably burned less than 200 calories every time you went. And then people will quit because it's like they feel like they went to work and they did the work, but they didn't get paid. And the reality is they went to work, but they didn't do the work when they were at work. And that's the reason why we didn't pay. So get smart with your time. Can we do more cardio? I mean, do an hour and a half every other day. Yeah, absolutely. You literally cannot do too much cardio for your mind, your heart, your lungs, your bones, your cardiorespiratory health, your heart health, and everything in between. And like I said, built into it. Like I did that funny post last week, and I'm like, Lee, why do you train so hard? And it's picturing me stuffing my face with a big meaty cheeseburger. Because again, training hard means we can allow ourselves to be freer with food. We can enjoy more meals. We can enjoy more treats, because we've done the work to burn the calories once they've been replaced. So yeah, let's commit hard. Focus on what we want every single day. Commit to it, write it down, make that plan, go and get the work done. I love you all. Let's start this week strong.